Hey everybody, how you doing out there? Um, I am just testing out some of my fancy new equipment here. That's what this is all about, really. And then to give you some information on the podcast coming up and everything. So I appreciate everyone asking. You've all been really pressing me kind of to get things rolling, and so I'm setting up the way the podcast is going to be. It's called Heroes in Grief. You see the icon up in the corner there, the logo, and the podcast is going to feature people who have taken grief and things that have happened to them and they've turned it into amazing things. And so that's the whole story behind it. I mean, many of you know my story already, and I'm gonna tell that whole story. That's gonna probably be the first podcast. I'm gonna give my story of what I've been going through and what I've done with my grief. And so I'm not going to get out into all that here, but there's many people who have had terrible losses in their life, and just amazing stories have come out of it. So my whole goal now is to encourage people who have are going through similar things or whatever. We all face grief, so it really reaches everybody, and I just want to encourage them. And these stories are so amazing of what people have done sometimes that's really what I want to feature, and that's going to encourage people who listen to it, no matter where they are. And then it's also going to help the people who have done something with their grief to get word out about what they're doing, because it's not just a local thing. There's many local examples, and I have people lined up already on the local side here in Western New York. I'm in Niagara Falls area, in Buffalo, and so there's plenty of people who have done things here. But then there's also worldwide, and I've been in contact with some of those people. I'm already reaching out on social media and everything. And some of you know I'm a self-taught social media marketer, so that all helps with that. And so there's lots out there that we can tap into, and I already have had great resources contact me, and I've contacted them about being on the program, and it's going to happen. So you'll hear some just astounding stories, and I'm really looking forward to it. The podcast, probably each show is going to be about 45 minutes to an hour long, and I will have a guest, except for my first one, and maybe some others that I do feature things on or whatever. So that's what the whole podcast situation is about, and I'm going to have mine out. It should be in a week or so. I'm going to do mine, so it'll be out, and then I'm going to start recording the other people too. A few other things going on. I've started a Facebook group here locally, but it's not just for local people, and it's just for people who maybe want to share things about their grief. But we don't always want to take that into our public situation, and we'll be at a party or something, and it's not a place to talk about these things really. People want to share and give you a hug and everything. That's great, but not everybody doesn't want to hear about these things all the time. And some of our friends are not grief friends. They don't want to, or they're just not there for that type of thing. So I've started a Facebook group that's a safe place for people to go and share when they're hurting about things. We've got people long standing grief situations there of years and years. And, it just hurts sometimes, and they want to share that with someone who cares. And so that's what the Facebook group is about. It's called Western New York Network for Grief and the Grieving. And like I said, anybody can join that, because this is going to be going out to people all over the world too. So you're all welcome to join that. Just look it up on Facebook, and I'll have links on my other pages for that. But Western New York Network for Grief and the Grieving, that's the Facebook group to hang out in. I'm also setting up pages on all the social media and everything for the Heroes in Grief podcast. You can find us on Instagram right now, on Facebook, and I'm going to have a YouTube page that's up. This is both going to be a visual and a audio podcast. So when people can do recorded things with me visually with video, then we're going to put that up on YouTube and the podcast outlets that way. But I'm also recording all of them with audio, obviously, and they're going out to all the podcast platforms via a resource that I have for that. So it's going to be on, Apple and iHeartRadio and, wherever you get your podcast, it'll be on there, because that's what this company does that I'm working with. They get it out to everybody. So it'll be on there too. It's called Heroes in Grief is the podcast. That's what it'll be. And like I said, I'm going to cover everything else that's been going on with me, in the first show that I do, and share a little bit of my heart with you about what's been happening with me. So many of you ask, many of you care. I thank you so much for all your help in with me and Judy and everybody who has gone through this with our loss of Jeff. So that's we just appreciate it so much. It's been helping so much. And I know you got a lot of questions about things. Maybe I'll do a live thing too. I'm not sure. I did put it out there for you to send some questions, and some of you sent some great questions, and I'll cover those. But maybe we'll just do a question and answer type thing too at some time. But most of all, I just wanted to get this out there and test out the stuff that I'm using. As you can see, the video stuff that we have here, I got a great microphone and all this type of stuff. So I wanted to be able to mess with that and see how it's going to work. So I'll be back with you very soon. And like I said, I'm going to get that main podcast out very, very soon. And I'll let you know about it out there. If you want to touch base with me wherever, just let me know, or get me on Instagram and Heroes in Grief, Heroes in Grief. And that's how you spell it up there. HEROES. Don't forget the E in there. Heroes in Grief. And then I also have a Facebook page for this. And there's also a Facebook group, which is the Western New York Network for Grief and the Grieving, for those who just want to share things and have a safe place to do that. All right. So that's about it. I just want to get it out there because lots going on today. It's a beautiful, beautiful day here in Niagara Falls. And, the Bills started their, I'm a big Buffalo Bills fan. So the Bills started their training camp, and Stephon Diggs has ironed everything out. So we're all good. Right. All right. So thanks, everybody. I'll see you very, very soon. Thanks for listening.